What's up, fight fans? Welcome to my channel. This is Johnny, and today we're going to be going over the statistics that nobody talks about when mentioning a possible clash at lightweight between Shakur Stevenson and Vasiliy Lomachenko. Guys, I know, they both have fights coming up. We just heard that Shakur Stevenson and his camp has made it official. His title will be on the line against Artem Harutyan in New Jersey, Brick City. You got a title fight. And of course, I'm coming from Australia. I know this weekend we got George Kambosos taking on Vasiliy Lomachenko for the vacant IBF and then George's IBO belts. And I know a lot of you guys hate when I mention the IBO belt. I agree with you. It doesn't hold a lot of weight internationally, but for the Aussie fighters and some international fighters, the IBO belt is still a belt, so I have to mention it. These fights are all signed, these fights are taking place. It just gave me an idea to kind of think ahead a bit. We want to see the best matchups in the last 6 months with all things happening with Turki Al-Sheikh, His Excellency. These fights are a possibility, and it's given guys like myself ideas for more content, different types of videos that nobody are doing, videos like these. So we're gonna break down statistics on both guys. We're gonna find out advantages, disadvantages. We're gonna see how both fighters match up. And at the end of the video, I'm gonna ask you guys for your help. Who do you think would take the fight? So let's take a closer look at Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson is 21-0 with 10 knockouts. He's currently ranked #1 in the world in the lightweight division. That's 135 pounds. He's boxed a total of 145 rounds in his career, and he has a 48% career knockout to win ratio. Shakur's 26 years old, and the southpaw is an American standing at 5'8" with a 68-inch reach. He is the WBC World Lightweight Champion. He is taking on Artem Harutyan this July in Newark, New Jersey. Harutyan's currently 12-1. His only loss is to Frank Martin. Then he fought Edwin De Los Santos, 16-1 UD. Chiro Yoshino, knockout in the 6th. Robson Conceição, UD in the 12th. Oscar Valdez, UD in the 12th. And guys, we talk about Shakur Stevenson a lot on this channel. A, because he's a skilled talent. B, I was an amateur boxer and I like paying attention to the amateurs. He had a great storied career with the US. He's a slick southpaw. We know he's rangy for the division. He's tricky, and he's taken a lot of backlash recently with how he went about his fight with Edwin De Los Santos. But guys, I don't blame him. You're never gonna hear me on this channel talk trash about Shakur. Shakur is a world-class boxer, and boxing is a game about who could hit and not get hit. And why would a fighter with so many defensive skills, so much slickness, so much ring IQ put himself in danger to get knocked out against a guy like Edwin De Los Santos just to pleasure the fans? That's not how a career is built. Whatever you guys do for your career, whether you're in electronics, you're a content creator, you're a coach, a teacher, a banker, do you put yourselves in a situation for your friends and family to be worried about you? No, it's about doing things as cautiously as possible. And I know in blood sports such as boxing, fans might not always like that. But to a technician and fighters and fans who love the minutia of the sport, watching Shakur Stevenson go about his business is truly masterful. Let's take a closer look at Vasiliy Lomachenko. Lomachenko's 17-3 with 11 knockouts. He's currently ranked #3 in the world in the lightweight division. He has 188 total professional rounds boxed, and the 36-year-old Ukrainian is a southpaw standing at 5'7" with a 66-inch reach. He's getting ready to take on George Kambosos for the vacant IBF strap this weekend in Perth, Australia. He then fought Devin Haney, who was 29-0, lost that via decision. Jermaine Ortiz was 16-0, won that via decision. Richard Comey, 30-3, victory in the 12th. And then Nakatani, 19-1, knockout in the 9th. We also know he lost to Teofimo Lopez in a close fight, put Teofimo on the map, became undisputed. And Vasiliy Lomachenko, another guy with a storied amateur career. He comes from a country where it's not out of the ordinary to stay long in your amateur story career before you turn pro, because representing your country and having the opportunity to win a gold medal means a lot in the Ukraine. Lomachenko, when he bursted on the scene, check all the YouTube videos that were coming out. I remember personally hearing about him, watching his footwork. They were calling him the Matrix, how he would make guys quit on the stool. And that's one of my favorite things about his pro career. He went through a period of a few fights in a row. Andrew Walters comes to mind. The Rigondeaux fight comes to mind. These world-class champions in other weight classes fought him and didn't get knocked out, but they were so frustrated with what they couldn't do in the fight against Loma, they quit. I mean, what's better, knocking somebody out unconscious or psychologically beating a champion so much to where they literally are submitting and they tell their corner and the ref they don't want to fight anymore? That is wild, and that's the skill set Loma brings to the table. We know Loma and Shakur both have a lot of work to do. Shakur needs to get business done against Artem Harutyunyan, and Loma has a tough test against George Kambosos, but if both guys win, you'd have to think at 135, this is the fight to make. When you look at how they measure up, you got to talk about the age gap. There's a 10-year difference between Shakur and Lomachenko. Boxing is a young man's sport. I don't have the statistics, but I'd like to see somebody tell me the stat between the win-loss percentage of the fighter who has a 10-year advantage, age gap, young versus old, and I guarantee the stats lean with the younger guy. They're both going to be southpaws, and they're both slick. Their ring IQ, you'd be hard-pressed to match two fighters like Shakur and Loma with higher fight IQs than these two guys, and the styles make fights. The thing about Lomachenko in difference to Shakur is throughout Loma's career, we know that he likes to be slick, but he also likes to put himself in danger. He'll fight you in the pocket. Lately, his last fight, Shakur fights from the outside, jabs, exits, didn't spend too much time in the pocket against De Los Santos. You'd have to think Loma's footwork is so good, he would force Shakur to fight him, and that's the narrative I think going into the fight we would see play out, and that's why I would be excited to watch this. I'm not going to tell you my pick, but I need to know yours. If this fight ever takes place, who would you side with? Shakur Stevenson or Vasiliy Lomachenko? Let me know in the comment section below.